Hello everyone and welcome back to Veluwe Zoo. And in the previous episode we built this indoor and outdoor habitat for the aardvark. And I did do some building while I was off camera, and I added these gharials. So on this side we will have the saltwater crocodiles, and on the other side we have the gharials. And now one thing I also did was adding these rocks and plants and trees and fences, and I didn't thought it was very interesting for you guys to see when I was doing that, so I did that off camera. But we still have a message, and my flamingo is stressed again. My flamingos are always stressful job to be a flamingo. So one thing I quickly want to check is my guest happiness, and that's only 3 stars. And where can I see that? Over here. That litter is disgusting, and I think we can see it when you use this one. Negative impact on guests. There's a litter here. There's not that much litter. We have a few broken things. But there is an option here if you go to crime and then replace all. Replace all. Replace all. Fixed everything. Research. So almost a golden thing for every animal. So my snakes were not happy because there are too many. So I'm gonna send you to the trade center. So I'm gonna view the report again. So now we have 5 stars for these, and then habitat number 5. Let's start looking for that one. Habitat 5. Wow, the first one I clicked. Species food, species toy enrichment. Okay, so I did get one comment that you need to delete the old toys and then replace them by new ones. I didn't know that, so let's try that. So there are only a few of them and I'll use them all. That was perfect. Great plan. Add this one. Bang. Huge thing. And put another one here. So they need more food enrichment, but I only get 1 item. Maybe if I sell some flamingos. Send to trade center. B. Oh, that's better. That's okay. Okay, let's check on my finances. I see a red arrow now. Finances. I'm still making a little profit. That's okay. Yeah, we're still going. Well, okay, I guess. So my yellow anaconda is thirsty. Let's call a keeper. Keeper. Okay, guess not. Okay, so the education level is also quite low. I don't know why, but I'm gonna just throw down some education stuff. So construction, gonna use these so people get educated. Okay, put one here. And let's educate the people about poaching and the exotic pet trade. Make it green and brown. Gray. Gray looks better. Let's also put one here. Let's move these benches, they are not in the middle. So, like that. And then we put you to traditional medicine. Yeah, let's put one next to the crocodiles here. And then we put this one to amphibian extinction crisis. There you go. So I made a little planning mistake. So this path is getting really close to the building, and I'm not sure yet what I want to do with this area. So please let me know in the comments which animals you would like to see here. I was thinking about the Komodo dragons, and then the Nile monitors, and maybe some. Yeah, we still have a lot of space here, so make sure you leave a comment and tell me which animal you would like to see in this area. And I do have an idea for another area, so we are going to start a build on that one right now. So for this area I actually had 2 ideas, and I went for the second one, but I wanted maybe to extend the nocturnal house, as people would call it, and add the Chinese pangolin. But then again, it would have been almost the same build. And I also want to create a Asian part in this zoo, probably. with some tigers and these Chinese pangolins and probably some other animals like pandas, red pandas, and stuff like that. So I decided to go for the Baird's tapir, and this will be a not really a walk through habitat. I actually found a few pictures of a tapir underneath a waterfall, and that's what I'm trying to recreate right now. So we will have a little bit of shallow water, and then I'm gonna make sure that people won't see the staff buildings in the back, of course, because this is actually a perfect spot for a habitat, because we have all the staff buildings in the back. So this is the space, if you didn't see it already, between the food court and the Pygmy hippo habitat, and on the back you will have the aardvark habitat that we recreated in the previous episode. So right now I'm starting on this little waterfall. So this will be the area where the waterfall will come down. It will look, of course, man-made. So this is what you normally would see in zoos, that you will have these fake concrete rocks, walls, and that's what I'm trying to recreate right here. So I'm using these water effects. I'm always struggling with these water effects because, in my opinion, you can't really put them down in the rocks and you will always see them. And if you put them down in the rocks, the effect is not the way you would like it to be, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to create the effect right here that the water is pumped up and just lowering the rocks just to make it look a little bit better. You will still see these floating water effects. I don't really like it, but then again, if you put them down in the rocks, it doesn't look good. So I went just for some floating water effects. So this will be the part where the habitat gate will come. Putting that in right now, using some barriers, not a lot, of course. Again, yes, just making sure that it just blends in. You don't really see it, but the staff can enter the habitat. Making sure the staff buildings are connected, so this staff can actually enter. And I'm already starting with some foliage, just looking at how it looks, and just wanted to create a nice view for the guests. Putting down the null barriers, and then I can finally put a animal in. Yeah, you can still see it's it's able to escape everywhere, but I will fix that later. Doing some little terrain work, of course. It doesn't like the long grass, so I had to get rid of all the long grass. And then what I wanted to do here is create a little ruin, just like I did in Monkey Island, of course. And I tried different things, like creating a gate right here, but I ended up doing this. Just it really looked cool in the end. It will be like a small ruin that dropped down from the mountain and is still here. I don't know. It will look a little bit overgrown, and it creates a nice effect in the end. So this bridge, you can see, I changed colors, I changed paths like 100 times, and in the end I do make a little bit of custom bridge thing, but I tried different supports, and the problem is that this path is really, really thick, so you will have a big concrete layer, and you can't really get rid of that. And for example, if you want to use logs, you need at least 3 logs to completely cover up this path. So it really looks strange. And the supports that they are using is actually what I want to create. I really like these with the ropes and with the logs. So I will keep it this way. And in the end, I will create a little bit different pathing, and make sure that blends in with the railing as well, and then it will look much better. So putting down a little rocks, doing some terrain work, and trying to make it more precise, and then I'm starting on the foliage. So this habitat is actually quite a simple one. So we will have a little bridge walking over the animals, and just some rocks to cover up the sides, a lot of foliage, and some a little cave right here for the animals to chill down, have a sleep. And this is basically their hard shelter, covering it up nicely with all the rocks and making sure they can lay down And again, there will be a lot of foliage. I actually used these plants and then I found out I couldn't use them. So yeah, you will probably see me removing them in a few minutes. I think they changed something. I'm thinking about it right now. Normally, if you would change the terrain underneath the water, it would count towards the percentage that the animal needs. But I think they changed that because when I just changed the terrain work in the water back to rock, and it didn't do anything with the percentage that the animal wants to have in its habitat. So I think they changed that. I'm not sure yet if that's a good thing, yes or no, but yeah, I do think, yeah, probably it's good. Yeah, I still have to think about that. Making the terrain look a little bit more interesting with some hills, and making sure that not everything is completely flat, and making sure the animals can't escape. And right now I'm just making sure that the sides of the habitat, everything is gonna blend in. I will put down some plants and some fences down there later, some donation boxes of course, and some trash bins. And right now you can see that the animal, yeah, the game thinks the animal can escape because the nail barriers weren't in the correct place, so I'm fixing that. Still too much rock. As you can see right now, yeah, I changed it back to dirt underneath the water, but it didn't count towards the percentage. So I think they changed that. So I'm removing those plants because they were from Asia, Africa, I think, and this is a South American. I wanted to say monkey, but South American animal. And yeah, so we have to use a little bit of different plants. Try different things again with the path and with the plants, but yeah, it didn't look right to have these water lilies and stuff, or stuff on the bridge. So that's why I didn't do it. Making sure this part blends in nicely. This is basically finishing up this entire part of this zoo. So I won't really extend this tropical area towards this side. I think there's not enough tropical animals to use anymore besides all the monkeys. I might do a little monkey area house later. I've been thinking about it. I really want to do it, but we will do it later, probably in the end of this series. So I'm making sure the animals can eat and drink and have their what do you call it, enrichment items. Somehow that's a really difficult word for me to remember, but so yeah, covering up the paths, making sure there is no what do you call it, crossfighting for these wooden planks. I will lower them later because then I found out I couldn't really cover up everything perfectly because you will still have a little curb around the path, and right now I raise it too much and the entire feet of the cast will disappear, so that looks a little bit strange. So I'm changing the color of the path so the railing will fit better to these wooden planks, and I will change it a little bit later because the curves doesn't look good, as you can see. So you will also have these single planks, so I'm using those right now to cover up the path and nicely. Also, I had a few comments about the Aardvark exhibit. I always post it on Reddit, and I always read all my comments, of course. And there was one comment I did agree with, is that the indoor area doesn't really look like a cave right now. It's basically more a yeah, how should I call it, a landscape at night. So I might gonna make some changes on that later, so the animals will have a yeah, an underground area to sleep. And one comment I did also read is that the people didn't really like the roof, but I do want to keep it this way. So I made this roof on purpose a little bit uglier than normal to make it more realistic. So I'm gonna stick with that anyway. But I really do appreciate all your comments, of course. So if you have any comments about my habitats or about my buildings or whatever, some things that I can improve, make sure you will leave a comment, and of course I will read all the comments and try to do and really try to improve everything that I do. So I'm improving this little staff area with some concrete and I will make a little shelter space. And since this is a Dutch zoo, I'm putting down some bicycles, or one bicycle, of course, because that's probably the easiest way for the staff to go around the zoo. Adding some windows, which would be nice for the staff, that they will have some light in their building. So finally putting down that little bicycle. I really like them. They really look cool. And yeah, so this is Mr. Domez, his electrical boxer things. And yeah, just making sure that it looks like people have been working here. I will also use the dumpsters later, also from Mr. Domez. I didn't download them yet while I was recording this, but I'm adding those later and finishing up the staff building basically. And yeah, just making sure we will have some education around here using the same things as from the grizzly bears. I really like that it looks that it's attached to the railing. So I'm using the same thing. Putting down some heaters because, yeah, probably these animals won't like snow and cold weather. So I'm making sure the temperature will always be fine for these animals. And with that, we almost reached the end of the video. Of course, we will end with some cinematics again. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you hit the like button. And if you didn't do it already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any new content. And I will speak to you guys in the next one. Goodbye.